Tides and pool level have been the most important factor of fishing and catching more fish than anything. Winds do, affect it, but the most important thing that I like to follow is big weather changes, like a storm coming in or a lot of rain. The fish kind of do certain things during these times, and that's why I'm able to catch a lot of fish during these times. So, an example, I'll give you an example. When there's a lot of rain, where would I be fishing? I'd probably be fishing around the dike, because all that fresh water is pushing all that bait. And where all that bait goes, so did the predator fish.
After or before the rain?
After. Now before the rain, I'd probably head out to a really good spot before the pressure, pressure being an important part there.
Where's that spot at?
Seawolf Park. Seawolf Park. Working that flat.
You're fishing the pre-frontal pressure drop.
Yes, that's a good area to fish.
Johnny.
Go ahead.
We have Daniel Hayes again. He wants to know what your favorite braid is.
That's a good question, Daniel. You probably know my weakness. I don't have a specific favorite braid, only because I snapped every one that's out there. So maybe it's because my wife let me fish every night. Thank you, baby. Every day and night, but I fish a lot, so I think the salt water degrades braid over time. So I snapped J braid, 8, suffix, wind tamer, slick, you name it, I've popped it. So I don't have one. So I even popped Iowa, and that's like a newer one.
Do you think you have to buy the more expensive gear, or have you done good with keeper gear?
I used to fish a skeet reese reel with an ugly stick, and I caught fish, don't get me wrong, but I went on a guided fishing trip with Daniel Land, I believe his name is, Daniel Land, and he didn't say much, but I watched how he fished, and he had the waterloo salinity, and he had the concept C, and all I heard the whole time was his rod whipping from him setting the hook, and I thought, man, this guy's on him, what is he doing? And he, one advice that was never given to me is get the right rod and reel for yourself. Now mine might be the skeet reese and the ugly stick, which is not, but yeah, if you want to spend more money on sensitivity and that matters to you, get that. But it also depends on your application. If you like a stiffer rod because you like working certain baits, then that's good too. But what might work for me, not what might work for you, But me, I like more the sensitive touch. I do like the sensitive touch. So I currently fish, I'm not sponsored by this guy, a Sarge rod, and that's definitely not in the cheaper ballpark. That's, that's probably the more expensive ballpark. But these custom rod makers these days are doing a really, really good job of making sensitive rods. And the reel that I use, to me, I'm not going to trash talk any other rod, but reels. But right now I'm kind of using Lew's, and I'm really happy with Lew's, and versus other ones.
Why is gear ratio important?
Gear ratio is very important. If I had a clicker on my reel, I would work my baits at a lower ratio and reel in at a faster ratio, if that was the case. But that's never the case, right? So in winter time, I like to work my baits a little slower for trout or any fish, so I like the lower gear ratios because it makes your bait, move a little slower versus a faster retrieval. In the hotter parts of the days, or like today, those sometimes the faster retrieval will cause a strike. And when you hook onto a redfish and you're fishing a tournament, you want to bring that redfish in as fast as you can. So you don't want to sit there and play with the guy. You got to sit there, bring him in, and cast out to the next one, and working your baits faster and bringing in your fish faster is very helpful. Sorry that question was complex, but.
So what's your go-to ratio then? If I don't want to buy every ratio, you 6.3 and 7.1 mostly.
I would stick to 7.
7, okay.
It's a good in between, but I got a gear ratio, a reel that's 5 for, I like to throw in the winter, and then 7 for redfish.
flounder, or not really?
I did. I not to bash that or anything. I just don't see any challenge in fishing for flounder. You're throwing either a Chicken Boy has a red and white one that I use a lot, and I put some butt juice is what he names it. I use that stuff, but it's just like Procure, and I just throw it out there, and I can either do the steady knock, which I think does the best, is the steady knock on the floor, or the pop, let it drop, and then reel in the slack. And when the flounder has it, you sit there and you wait. Some people like to let them swallow the bait. I don't. I set the hook as soon as I can, bring them in. I don't, you know, I set the, and that's another thing is for fishing for flounder, you want to make sure that when you set the hook, that you set the hook right, because they got a big old bone plate face. You want to set the hook, and you got to make sure your jig head can pierce through that.
So you want to set it like an opposite way, or like how do you want to set
No, just straight up, but yank, like you're going to yank that sucker out of the water. Make sure you don't break your rod, but yank that sucker out of the water. That way that hook, if you do hook them around the faceplate, it'll go through that faceplate. So make sure your jig heads are on point as well.
How do you keep a happy wife and fish every day?
Yeah, that's her. That's the secret, baby. You have to answer.
I gotta keep it PG here, guys.
You have problem with trouts. They're tend to known as having a paper mouth with pulling the hook.
You know, that's funny because, you know, evidently trout do have paper mouths, but I fished areas where, to me, it might sound crazy to you, but the trout mouths are more sensitive in trout in certain areas than they are in other areas. Working this bait system, I think me and Johnny were out fishing this area, and we're getting hits, and we'd set the hook, and we're bringing them in, and we lose them right at the kayaks. So I brought in a trout, and I noticed that his whole mouth was mangled and just ripped to shreds. So I lowered my drag, and that was the technique to bring them all the way in, is we set the hook, lowered the drag, and brought the fish in. Versus if I was at the, I don't know, I'm working the reef system somewhere. Man, I'm not gonna say the specific reef because people get mad when I mention it. But I bring them in, and I can force them in, no problem. The trout there.
So do you try a lot of different spots, or do you go to like a few spots? Like I catch fish really good at one spot, and I don't want to leave. I just want to keep going back. My buddy's like, "Hey man, you gotta move, or you won't learn anything." You know.
My advice would be to learn a spot well. That whole bait system, learn it well. Watch what the fish do. Some people like to fish one spot and they'll catch fish that run by there every now and then or whatever. I like to learn the whole area. That way, sometimes fish move, right? So they might be in one spot today, and by 5 miles, you know, a couple more, you know, you never know. You just got to move with the fish, read the water. That's my advice. And study. And what you learn in one bait system most likely can carry over to different bait systems. Like, you know, these predator fish, they strike certain ways. You know, they have ambush spots, and that's usually the best fish that I like to target. All right, I guess that's going to be it for me. Any more questions? That is, I've never used it under popping cork, but it's a really good technique. I mean, I've heard great things about using it under popping cork. I also heard people like putting split shots on the leader line to let it fall down a little bit faster. I've heard of the technique, and it's been, there's YouTube videos of people catching them on popping cork, and the thing is, you gotta let that bait drop. It drops real slow. This has no current in it, so you couldn't really see the activity. But if there was current in here, that bait drops a lot slower. So you just gotta be patient and let that bait drop.
If you could only bring one lure with you, what would you bring?
Man, you're gonna get me in trouble by my sponsors, dude. I would take 2 baits.
Okay.
Chicken boy or this DOA shrimp.
Okay.
What's that? Nah, I never heard of him. Stop giving me, he's trying to give me trouble here. Alright, that's going to be it. I'm going to hand the mic over to John. I'm gonna let Justin go first. Justin's gonna do his presentation. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming out, and hopefully I answered all your questions. Feel free to message me. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back to the messages, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys.
All right, Merriel told me at the last minute I was going to be able to say a few things, so I appreciate it. It's his event for sure. And then I wanted to thank DSKA, and I've been on and am on a lot of the fishing pages. And no offense if any of y'all really like them or you're founders or whatever, but DSKA is the biggest brotherhood I've seen. The things they do, their tournaments, barbecues, events like this, Martin doing the giveaway every month. I mean, it really brings it in close. And then when someone's in trouble or someone's hurt, I first joined DSKA and I was going through my cancer thing, and everybody took care of me, donated, bought lures, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, that's real. That's really how DSKA is, for honestly. So I'll do kind of a quick one on the Marker 54, and then I'll finish with YO-Zuri. So the thing about Marker 54, first I met Merriel. I started fishing Clear Lake and found out that he fishes Clear Lake a lot, and we both live near the area. And that's when I first got into Marker 54, and I've caught more redfish, number one, and upper slot redfish in my life than I have any other lure. And I've been fishing for 20 years, but not as serious as I have the last few. And there's definitely an advantage to the you watch them. That's how they do. So you flip it and then let it go back down. Flip it. And so the situation, my favorite situation I was in close to 20 foot of water, anywhere the tide 15 to 18, maybe 20 feet of water. And it's like imagine it like a column. So you're using, I was using the soft plastic at the time, but it ties in they have a tie in the back and a tie in the front version. And so when you let this lure fall in that deep water, these other lures swim on the fall, right? Well, the tail moves on the fall. They swim, yeah. But do they have any lateral motion when they fall? You see, these lures are going to have, especially on a long descent in deeper water, they're going to cover laterally and they're going to descend. So scientifically, it's covering more square footage of water. You can find more fish, and that's what I was noticing. And sometimes you'll come up on fish and overhead lights, underwater lights, and you can spook them. Well, when there's deep water, when you spook them, they actually can descend, and I found that too. And they really didn't leave, but your first reaction would be, oh, they're gone. Well, sometimes they go down, and so I was letting these Marker 54 go down and finding that that's where they were hiding is down deep. So that's the advantage of Marker 54 that I love. And I don't, like I said, it's my favorite lure. I've caught more redfish than I have on anything else. And definitely check them out. And it's not tied on the front, but when you do this thing on the front, it's similar to the DOA. It's going to swim forward, and it has a really good lifelike motion. You can use them in the marsh. They have a tie in the front version of the soft also, and I've used them in real shallow water and hooked in some good fish. I haven't done the marsh much. I need to, but he has a Marker 54 has a lot of videos of him in the marsh. And he has other baits too. He has he calls them topwaters, and they are technically a topwater, but they're a jointed swim bait. And he has a video of a 30+ inch trout he caught in like a foot of water or less. I think it's actually this exact style right here. And they saw it and they thought it was a redfish, and it was like a 31 inch trout. So he has a lot of different lures. That's all he does. You can learn about why he calls it Marker 54, and he goes to a lot of fishing shows. And I'm officially sponsored by Marker 54, and then Christopher is marketing, if I'm correct. And so you can get a hold of him for any questions, the both of us. And he's trying to get into stores and different retails. He has a plan to do that, and he has a website, so marker54.com. Now, YO-Zuri. First off, I started. I'm an independent dealer and promoter for YO-Zuri because I started using them and I did really good actually in the daytime and night. But I started using them in the day in the surf and in nice water and did really well. So I called them up and said, hey, you know, what does it take? I want to get these in other people's hands. They told me what it takes. And so I have an official business license and a small business in order to become a dealer. And then I was fortunate enough to deal with they have sales reps that you deal with. And a guy quit. And so I was working with the director of sales and marketing for all of YO-Zuri. They're based out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. And we kind of established a relationship. And I'll tell you how I'm not what you call pro staff for them. I would say I'm promotional. I'm not professional staff because YO-Zuri is a big company on the East Coast, and when you're professional staff by them, you actually get paid, like seriously paid. You don't just get free lures and stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome. And I don't think they have any professional staff that doesn't have a boat. And then they have pro staff, and then they have the ambassador program, which you can apply for. And I don't think they have it. They have a couple kayak guys, and a lot of those guys are boats. So anyways, so I'm not what you would call professional staff for YO-Zuri. I'm an independent dealer and promoter, and I do get some privileges. I'm, as far as I know, the only guy that can sell apparel. So I can get all their apparel. I have access to their pro staff gear, stuff like that. So anyways, you'll see on the page the 3DS minnows. I don't really care about much else. They have lots of other stuff. They're real big in freshwater. Offshore stuff, I think Victor Cisneros uses them for offshore, and they're just a great realistic lure. They're a swim bait. They have that bill that's going to give them the swimming action, and swim bait / jerk bait, and they have a internationally patented 3D prism that's inside, and it's this amazing shine, and that's one of the things that makes them really do real well. So just my family situation and my job and everything, I do fish more at night. I wish I could fish more in the day. I do when I can, but they're excellent at night, especially this time of year. They work really well. They work really well for trout. They work really well for reds. Now when the reds are feeding on top, they work excellent for reds. I think when the reds are on top, they actually work better for reds. Reds don't hesitate. They just go after them when they're on top. The trout, they're going to go after them. But your reds, when your reds are on bottom, this is a suspending bait and it doesn't really go down. It has the 3DS minnows have a maximum depth of about 3 feet, so you're not going to get down to the bottom when they're feeding on bottom. But when they're on top, they're gonna hit it. About to finish up, and I just want to give you some tips on using them. They come with freshwater hooks. They're extremely sharp, but they are freshwater. They're going to bend easy, and a redfish is going to destroy them really, really quick. So if you're using the original hooks, I'd maybe use them twice, then change out to some saltwater hooks, and change out to some saltwater hooks. I like VMC. I just think a short shank is better. It gives it less opportunity to bend. And you want a looser drag, like Merriel was saying, for the trout. If you can, if you're near structure, try to get it away from the structure, and then loosen up your drag because it's going to pull right out of their mouth. With the redfish, they're going to hook better, but if you have those original hooks on, so you have a tighter drag because it's not going to get off of a redfish, but a redfish is going to bend up the hook. So change out the hooks, loosen up your drag, definitely, for trout. And I want to do something on DSKA coming up, a challenge for people to start catching some in the daytime and maybe give some like prize pack or something. Because they do work in the day, I promise. I started selling them because they work in the daytime. But and the last thing is some ways to work them. I'm going to put it down, and I'll probably use Merriel's rod. I'm not going to cast. I'm just going to pretend like I have one on, and I'm going to show you the techniques for using it.
We called this like the trick method. Me and this guy Logan,
if y'all have ever heard of Logan Jensen. It's a risky technique because you're going to have your rod tip high. Now, anytime you have your rod tip high and a fish bites, how much room do you have to set the hook? You don't have much. But what we found is doing like a jigging with the rod tip high, you're going to get that maximum side-to-side motion on the YO-Zuri. Now that reflection on the inside is going to, the lure is literally going to turn more to the side. The shine is going to go deeper into the water column. And we've seen fish that we didn't know were there come up when we do that technique. We've seen them when they're not hitting. We've seen them come up on that technique. So we kind of made fun of it and joked about it. And it is risky. It is risky, but it's rewarding. So that's one of the ways. The number one way that I've seen work for me is just your basic, just about one rotation, depending on your gear ratio, and just a jig, reel like this. And the key is to get that lure to turn. You're getting that shine going. That's the name of the game, is getting that shine. That's why they got it in there. And you're going to do that. Then there's also a faster one, a real faster, hard one is going to be more aggressive. Like last time I was at the Causeway, I was doing that at the I had been doing all the other techniques, and I was doing that at the Causeway, like Merriel said, with the current, and I was just getting your bigger fish, keepers, just over and over again by doing it faster like that. Another thing is you can try a straight reel. As the water cools off, I fish them deeper. The lower you have your rod tip, the deeper it's going to go. And so you can get it to go deeper. I've caught numerous flounder on YO-Zuri. It was really a surprise because I was getting it down there probably in your knee deep in your wade fishing range. You can definitely catch a flounder off of it. So the lower you get your rod tip, the deeper they're going to go. And then you can try really fast. Definitely try them in the surf if you get an opportunity. But if there's anything with sharp teeth around, you're going to want to have some kind of a leader. I mean, your steel leader, you're going to risk losing some of the action. And it's just not going to work as well, but you may need it because we've been robbed a lot of times from your sharp tooth species with surf. But the trout love them. And there's one more I would recommend. I don't have them in stock right now. Sometimes I carry them, but you can get them online. I think it's Tackle Warehouse has them for the best price. It's called the 3DB Jerkbait. The 3DB Jerkbait Prism Shad. The 3DS is holographic ghost shad. This is just the Prism Ghost Shad. 3DB Jerkbait. That is the most awesome lure I've thrown in the surf and in the daytime wading. And and I'm making up a fishing story, but I was next to people with top waters and mirror lures and all kinds of stuff. And I was just catching them literally, maybe except for 4 or 5 here and there, just cast after cast after cast after cast. This was on the seawall last year at one of the rock growings, in front of the San Luis Hotel, by the way. And but that 3DB Jerkbait Prism Ghost Shad definitely get you one of those for the surf. They're awesome. That's it.
Alright guys, cool. So that's pretty much when it comes to the seminar. I just want to give a big shout out to FTU. I thought I saw Ricardo for helping us set up everything. Appreciate the towels, guys. I know all the guys appreciate it. Hopefully we could do this another time and enjoy each other's company. Thank you for all the people that came out. I hope y'all enjoyed the food. If y'all haven't eaten, there's still a lot left. Lots and lots left. There's also some cake and some cookies and some stuff. Y'all want to get some of that too. Merriel for doing this with us and helping us out. Christopher for the Night Predator tournaments. YO-Zuri and Steve and Justen also. Thank you to Johnny, David, and Mr. Meisel for helping me be in front of the barbecue pit and get all hot and cook some food. It was hot, guys. It was hot. But I'm glad we got it before y'all were here. So, you know, DSK, I think all of you are in it. It's just a big group of guys, friends, not a club, just a hangout. you know, more like a family. And we'll do this any day. We'll do this any day for any reason, just to hang out. You know, no dues, no nothing, and that's just the way we are. You know, we're not expecting nothing in return, just good, honest friendship and a brotherhood. That's what I like to call it. A lot of my best friends came from DSK, you know, so you know, it's something just to be part of, you know what I mean? Just
How long, honestly, how long has DSK been?
Where's Captain Lou at? Did he leave? He left. How long has it been, guys? Almost 2 years, right? Yeah, in almost 2 years we'll have 27, according to the page, 2,600 people, but we have a very big group of, you know, we have a lot of traffic. Yeah, and it's like, you know, you got a group, a handful of active guys, and, you know, all we really want to do is just get out there and swim, get the opportunity to meet people and, you know, learn something. That's really what we're all about. If you have any questions or whatever, just let me know. Grouch, one of our founders, Johnny Campbell, an admin, Misael, founder, David, admin, and I'm not. Didn't say. So Captain Lou's over here. Yeah. So anyways, if you have any questions or whatever.
I was kind of in a hurry, but if anybody, you know, like one-on-one or whatever, you can, any YO-Zuri questions. I didn't give anybody opportunities.
Cool, yeah, so y'all heard him. If you have any YO-Zuri questions, you have to talk to Justen one-on-one, and he'll answer anything. I know I have a few. Anything else, man? Oh, okay, so what are you doing with this? Just
I think the kid wants logistics.
Okay.
Everything else is free for grabs. So
We got a handout. Free, literally. So, hey, let's just be a little bit considerate, get one thing. Hopefully everybody gets a thing.
But here you go, buddy. Yeah, go ahead, put that shoes.
There you go. Whoa. I got you, Johnny. I got you. See? That's what we're friends for. Oh, yeah. Yours too, right? Hey guys, since y'all standing here, also don't forget August 12th, we got the other Night Predator tournament. You have to have a partner, and when is your cutoff date to register? The Thursday before. And also July 29th, guys, we have the Heroes on the Water. If y'all could help out, volunteer, whatever it takes, you know, that's something we're always willing to help. Heroes on the Water. And Mark, where'd Mark go? Mark Barta was the one that got us hooked up with that, and that's just an honor and something that we'll do that any day.
Tail make them a helicopter.
No, it goes like this. Both sides go like this.
We got Mark on the mic.
Hey guys, I know it's kind of the Heroes on the Water type deal. We're going to get some veterans and their spouses out on the water, but we are going to need what we call chaperones. So for every 2 persons, we're going to need one experienced kayaker to go out with these 2 people and help them net fish, help them point them in the right direction. So, you know, we are going to need some volunteers. You know, anybody that's willing to come out and just kind of paddle around and help them out. You know, maybe it may have to tie on some lures, net a fish for them, whatever the case may be. I would deeply appreciate it. I know these guys sacrifice, and ladies sacrifice for us. So for us to sacrifice one day is nothing. So it's looking like right now, I think we've got 10 participants, this is the first one for us. So hopefully they'll grow in the future. Could be, because of the temperatures, being in July. But I was asked to do it, so I jumped on it, and we're gonna make it happen.
Real quick.
But anyway, hopefully we'll do one maybe in the springtime or something like that where it's a little cooler. But, anybody that's willing to come out and help, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in a kayak. You come out because we are going to serve food and all that. So we're going to need people helping the guys, and people get into kayaks in and out of the water, etc., etc. So anything that y'all can do would be appreciated. Thanks.